this dress belongs to the grandmother of the bride, and she brought it along as an heirloom, asking if there was anything we could do with it. There were quite a few problems with it. It had been washed in the washing machine and had shrunk significantly, so we needed to lengthen it. Fortunately, because it's lace, it's fairly easy to add a lace trim along the end. So I've added a lace trim which she chose, which is this lovely beaded lace. It looks really nice. Even though the dress isn't beaded, it actually works really well, and it has the added advantage of being quite heavy, so it just sort of weights the dress down. But the front of the neckline was really lovely. It just needed tidying up, and she also wanted it lowered a little bit. So I'm just finishing off the facing on the inside of the dress. It's so delicate. Under usual circumstances, I would replace this with a new, stronger facing, but in fact, it makes it very visible. And I think with heirloom dresses, sometimes it's best not to mess with anything you don't need to mess with. So this part, while delicate, it was doing its job. So I'm just finishing off stitching the inside of the facing, almost done now. And this is the style. You can see how delicate this fabric is. But that's the neckline, so it has a sort of sweetheart bodice underneath. The boning was broken, so I've just replaced that. It's amazing how things were made. And this was what they used, so there was no sort of stiffening in it, literally just a lining fabric and boning, so it was a sort of a very brittle piece of boning which I've replaced on the inside with Ridgeline, and this was what's used to give structure to the skirt, so it's really a sort of canvas. It's been a real pleasure actually fishing around on the inside of this dress. Little details like this, the loops are actually made of just a piece of cord that's just been continually anchored down the back to create loops. Whereas usually nowadays we make a loop individually and it gets stitched right in as an individual loop. So yeah, beautiful.